dinner time, so this is a very appropriate story. Who doesn't love a crunchy pile of golden chips slathered in tomato sauce? While they make our mouths water, imported frozen French fries could end up destroying the livelihood of some local potato farmers. Anti-dumping duties that previously limited cheap imports could be ending. Local farmers are quite concerned. Let's discuss this now with Willie, CEO of Potato South Africa. Mr. Jacobs, thank you so much for your time. Now, my understanding is this concern is specifically around frozen French fries that are being imported. Generally, import's not a problem, but dumping is. Just tell us quickly the difference between importing and dumping.
Yeah, Sally, thank you. Now, importing usually happens on a, let's call it on a parity price that is acceptable for the local market, and it's usually generally competitive. What happens in the case of dumping is basically two things. It's either high volumes of product that comes into South Africa or into the country, and usually at a very discounted price, usually at a lower price than what the local market can actually produce.
All right, so now regarding the frozen French fry imports, my understanding, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just trying to sort of concentrate the information, but anti-dumping duties can be imposed for a period of 5 years. After that, there's a sunset review period, which basically gives you 18 months in the industry to prove your case that you still need those anti-dumping duties to protect the local market. My understanding is this is what the South African industry has done, but something's gone wrong with the process. Can you tell me more?
Yeah, so the sunset review usually needs about 18 months to complete, and it was actually initiated on time, but for various reasons, and I think the biggest excuse that has been offered to us was the fact that COVID-19 actually limited the capacity of the investigators to complete the exercise. So what happened is, although everything was submitted on time, the exercise wasn't completed, and the report couldn't be submitted in time. And unfortunately, it's not the South African side of things that actually limits that. It's our exposure to the World Trade Organization and the members in that side. So we were not allowed to physically extend the opportunity to complete the exercise as we would want to.
All right. Now, my understanding is that the International Trade Administration Commission actually was the one who dropped the ball, or perhaps dropped the potato. So what does that mean? Are we heading for a period where the local French fry makers and the farmers who produce those potatoes for that product are going to be exposed to dumping?
So unfortunately, yes. We have got, there's a window of opportunity for the importers to actually get into South Africa now at a discounted price. The dumping duties that were imposed in the past was up to 30%, and I think we actually had, from the report side, an opportunity to actually increase that rate. So at the end of the day, we will be exposed to discounted product, and we can already see the product coming in at a lower rate than what, let's call it, is marketable accepted.
What are you able to do about it, if anything?
Look, at the moment, there are interim measures, but I think the importance is that government actually implied to us that we actually have to show injury, and on our side, the injury will be in terms of what comes into the market at the moment. So I think as soon as we've got enough evidence to submit, we will definitely try to act on an interim measure. Currently, what we only can do is we have done a reapplication. The reapplication is in process, and it will be submitted through the forum as soon as possible. In the meantime, we will pursue other opportunities with the Department of Agriculture and also with ITAC, or the Department of Trade and Industry, to try to at least protect the local producers in the interim.
I mean, I feel for you, and agriculture is such a key sector of our economy, so it is important to protect our farmers. On the other hand, we are dealing with a country under severe cash constraints, and you know, what do you say to a consumer who goes, oh goody, these frozen French fries are so much cheaper than they normally are, this is fantastic for me?
Yeah, look, unfortunately, your benefit is of a volatile nature. The importers can't commit consistent volumes to South Africa at a specific level, but I think the important thing is we need to understand the underlying South African industry represents a significant portion of the agricultural business itself. Potatoes in South Africa have been produced on, over 12 months a year, a full year cycle. There's a number of producers all over the country that are submitting product or delivering product to the market. If this process gets interrupted, there can be areas and times there's going to be significant shortages. So it's fine, Willie, there you can have a good benefit of the low price of a product, but your period in time where there might be shortages and actually no product available will probably be much higher and larger than the short-term benefit of having a cheaper product on the shelf.
Yeah. Thank you so much for chatting to us about this, Willie Jacobs, CEO of Potatoes South Africa.